Hi, and welcome to the Seer's Covenant. This is going to be a pick a card reading for your deceased loved ones. This is a channeled mediumship reading for those of you who never got to say goodbye. And these messages is coming from the ones that have left behind in silence, your deceased loved ones, and the ones whose voices were silenced by force. And I have 3 piles here. So what I want you to do is take a deep breath and pick whichever pile you feel drawn to. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And I will leave a timestamp in the description below. I'll see you at your chosen pile. Hello, pile 1. I'd like for you to take a deep breath and think of your deceased loved ones that you have lost, or the ones you can't stop thinking about. These are the cards that I'm going to be drawing from. You might feel a chill, hear a name, or see a flicker behind your eyes. That's how they will let you know they are near. Let's begin. I'm first going to draw from my shadow flame cards to draw a card that is representing a view. Okay, so representing you, we have Shadow Flame 26. You carry my burdens because you love me. They were not yours to bear. You have inherited grief for your first card, and that's representing and representative of you. What does pile number 1 need to know? You didn't fail me, you found me. Why didn't you fight harder to stay? Abandonment rage. Oh, I see what's going on here now. I am angry at God and the universe. I left in chaos, but I did not leave in hate. Abandoned by the storm. All right, so pile number 1, you're going through a very difficult time with whomever has passed. And you are setting a lot of blame on things that you cannot control. You possibly could be depressed. You may not be thinking properly. You may be, the reason that they may not be coming through is because you're holding on to all of these negative emotions, and they don't believe that you're going to actually listen to what they're saying, if that makes sense. With you carry my burdens because you love me. They were not yours to bear. Spirit says that love is powerful, so powerful that it makes you carry things that you were never meant to be yours. This card speaks to the invisible guilt that's passed down through suicide, estrangement, ancestral trauma, unspoken shame, maybe deathbed silence. You took on their pain because you loved them. You carried it because no one else could, but that pain is not your sacred task. Spirit says, let it go now. You were never meant to be the vessel for my burden. Love me, remember me, but do not suffer for me. This card can often appear when empaths are weighed down by family trauma, grievers who feel responsible for someone's death or suffering, souls caught in generational guilt or silent contract. You are allowed to return this pain. You are allowed to be free. And I'm just going to give you a little affirmation here for you to say. Love is not punishment. I release what I was never meant to hold. Shadow Flame 14, you didn't fail me, you found me. Spirit says that you think you failed me, that if you said more, done more, held on harder, I might still be here, but you did not fail me. You found me. In all of my confusion, my withdrawal, my descent, my silence, you saw through it. You reached me, even when I couldn't respond. And that mattered more than you will ever know. This card comes out when guilt needs to be rewritten. Your grief keeps saying, I should have saved them, but their soul is whispering, you already did. Your love reached me before I slipped, and I was not alone. You were not their rescuer, you were their witness, and that was enough. And I want to give you another little affirmation for you for this one. My love mattered, I did not fail. And Shadow Flame 5, why didn't you fight harder to stay? Spirit is telling you there is a pain that tastes like betrayal, but it isn't. It's love with no place to go. This card, why didn't you fight harder to stay, is the ache of every unanswered prayer, every bedside whisper, every time your heart begged them to hold on just a little longer. It's the voice that says, didn't you hear me? Didn't you feel how hard I was trying to keep you here? If you're holding on to this question, know this. It doesn't mean they gave up. It means something beyond your understanding called them home. And their soul answered, not because they didn't love you, but because their path, for unseen reasons, was complete. But still, this card honors your rage, your heartbreak. It's your inner fighter refusing to let go without a war. I have a letter that you can write, a letter of rage and release. Write a letter to the one who passed. Let it be angry, let it be messy, curse, cry, ask, scream. Say the things you've held back. Then, when you're ready, burn the letter in a safe place. I always use parchment paper, not actual paper. And as the smoke rises, say, I release the battle. I return to love. I will live, and you will live through me. And an affirmation for you. I honor my grief. I speak the truth of my heartbreak, but I will not let sorrow steal my light. I understand, I really do. You're going through a very difficult time with the passing of, I can't tell you who it is because he wouldn't show himself to me for whatever reason. Maybe he's shy. I don't know. Shadow Flame 7. I'm angry at God and the universe. You're having a crisis of faith. With all of these cards like that, there's no doubt you are. This one is probably one of the most heaviest and probably the most honest confessions of this whole deck that I made. And Spirit says that there comes a moment in grief when your spirit no longer pleads, it demands. When prayers feel ignored, when life has stripped you bare, it's natural to feel enraged at source. You may not even know who you are mad at, only that something or someone let this happen. And in that fury, your soul becomes a temple of protest. Card is sacred. It signals not the loss of belief, but the deep ache of your soul that once trusted so fully that it expected mercy. That's not weakness, that's divine expectation. Anger at the divine is not blasphemy, it is intimacy. It means you believe, and your rage is evidence of that bond. And this card gives you permission to scream to the sky, to curse the stars, to break open the illusion that love is always gentle, but sometimes it is feral. Let your anger speak. Let it burn through the falseness. Let it demand a God who doesn't hide. Then listen, if you can, for a reply. And if you want to, you can write a letter directly to God, Source, Spirit, whoever you feel betrayed to. Pour it all out, everything what's going on in your mind, how hard it is for you. Be raw, be wild, be true. Light a candle and read your letter out loud, and then when you're ready, burn the parchment paper in a bowl. Watch the smoke rise and say, if you are real, feel this fire. If you ever loved me, answer my cry, and let the ashes cool, then scatter them outside and walk away knowing that your voice was indeed heard by God and the universe. And the last one here, I left in chaos, but I did not leave in hate. abandonment storm. So there's 2 abandonment cards here, so you absolutely feel abandoned, and that's not a good thing at all. Spirit is saying to you, sometimes the last chapter was not peaceful. There may have been some shouting, some silence, or separation. The death may have felt like tearing, not a soft farewell. This card arrives to uncoil the pain around this final moment. They want you to know that the circumstances of their leaving do not cancel the love they hold, even if they were in pain, already angry, confused, or even if you were. The bond, the soul, at soul level, that remains unbroken. This card speaks to the spirits' clarity of departure, free of body and burden, can see what could be said then. They do not carry hatred. If you've been holding blame toward them or yourself, this is an opening to let it begin to melt. And I have an affirmation for you for that one as well. Even in chaos, love remained. I am not hated. I am still held. And with that said, I'm going to pull some cards from my bridge deck. Just see what else we can get going here. Here we go. I didn't want to go. It was not my time. It was fated passage. And I just want to give you a little affirmation for this one as well. I honor the soul's contract, even when I don't understand its end. I allow peace to rise through the ache. And I'm just going to pull one more for you guys. What does pile number 1 need to know about their deceased loved one, please? What does pile number 1 need to know? That one? Okay. I'm going to leave it at that one. I am the old songs that play when you need me. So Spirit totally speaks through songs. They speak to me very clearly through songs, like word by word. When you hear an old song that you're not used to listening to and it reminds you of them, that is them giving you a message. So pay attention to the messages. And I just want to note that there's the letters here, B and G, if that means anything to you at all. Okay. And I'm going to leave that reading there for right now. If this made any sort of sense to you, please let me know. Give it a like, thumbs up. And until next time, take care. Hello, pile number 2. If this is your chosen pile, I would like for you to take a deep breath and think of the ones, your deceased loved ones that you have lost, or your deceased loved ones you just can't stop thinking about. Your deceased loved ones you can't stop feeling. There can be more than one that you're thinking about. Let them step forward. So if you are drawn to pile number 2, this is your messages, your loved ones, your guides, or your aunt in this conversation is ready to share with you. Let's begin. I'm going to start with my shadow deck. See what cards come out for pile number 2. What spirits want to come through for pile number 2? What are your messages? What spirits want to come through for pile number 2? And what are your messages? Your first card is, some days I miss my body so much. I try to ride the wind back to you. So they're visiting you. So this card is speaking of spirit presence, spirit longing, having a soul tether to your spirit, your deceased loved ones, and literally a visitation from them. Spirit wants you to know that there are moments that you can almost feel them again. The warmth of their skin, the way their voice filled a room, the scent of their presence in the air. This card speaks from the other side of the veil, from a soul who aches in a way for the embodiment they once knew. But more than that, they speaks to the raw power of love undelivered. And when they say they miss their body, they don't mean vanity or physicality. They mean the embrace that they no longer offer you. They mean the heartbeat they once gave to your name, the dance of touch, the sound of laughter shared across a meal. This is a message of visitation. When the wind brushes your cheek on a still day, when the shiver runs up your spine when the room and temperature for no reason. You may not be imagining it. This is the one you love, longing to be close to you, and some days they do. You may be seeing this now because you are going through really intense waves of grief, or just after literally a visitation. It's a response to your yearning. When your body cries for them, their soul hears and tries to answer. They could be really sticking around to you throughout your day to day. You really truly may be able to hear and feel and smell and touch them, like they are there with you. An affirmation for you for this one: I honor the bond that lives beyond the body. We are never truly apart. Okay. What else pile number 2 need to know? I want to pull 5 cards. The Spirit want you to know, what are you going through? Oh shoot. You blamed yourself. I blamed the silence I didn't know how to break. Unspoken grief. So this speaks to ones that grief within them that is unspoken. The person you're connected to that has passed didn't know how to speak to you the way that you needed to be spoken to. This card emerges from the hollow ache of what was said, what wasn't said, of conversations rehearsed but never spoken, of the long, low suffocation of unexpressed pain. This card speaks of mutual wounding, 2 souls standing on opposite sides of a canyon, each carrying a different tone, each carrying a different blame. One of you say, I should have known. The other says, I couldn't tell you. This is not about fault. It's about the places where language failed us, where trauma stole our tongues. You were never meant to take all of this silence with me. Spirit says to witness what was left unsaid, not to punish yourself, but to create space for reparation across realms. Spirit says, you did not fail me. The silence was a symptom, not a betrayal. They want you to know to let the grief be spoken even now, especially now. You can speak it, they can hear you. If you want to, you can write down the words you've never said but wanted to. Fold the paper and place it beneath a stone. Sit in the silence for about 3 minutes or so. Let your breath fill the room with presence. And when you are ready, say aloud, I break the silence, not the bond. I release the blame, mine and yours. And a short affirmation for yourself could be, I am not the silence, I am the voice rising from it. Let's get another card for pile number 2. Pile number 2. What does Spirit want to say to you? This one. Why didn't you fight harder to stay? Abandonment rage. So this card comes when you really do feel abandoned. You blame them. You have survivor's guilt. You have unanswered questions. Spirit wants you to know that there is a pain that tastes like betrayal, but it isn't. It's love with no place to go. This card, why didn't you fight harder to stay, is the ache of every unanswered prayer, every bedside whisper, every time your heart begged them to hold on just a little longer. It's the voice that says, didn't you hear me? Didn't you feel how hard I was trying to keep you here? They heard. If you're holding on to this question, know this. Doesn't mean they gave up. It means something beyond your understanding called them home, and their soul answered, not because they didn't love you, but because their path, for unseen reasons, was complete. Let this card honor your rage, your heartbreak. It's okay to be angry, and it's also okay to let go without a war. Let it soften. And if you want to do a little affirmation for yourself, write a letter to them. Affirm, I release the battle, I choose to live. I know it's not that simple. They want you to move on. They don't want you to hold on. They don't want you to hold on to what could have not have been. It was fated, and you are going through some abandonment issues as well, and that's perfectly normal. It's just a side effect of death, unfortunately. A couple more cards, please, for pile number 2. What do they need to know? Are there any more cards for pile number 2? If not, we'll move on to the bridge deck. Okay, no more cards want to come out from the shadow deck. Let's move on to the bridge deck. What do you want pile number 2 to know, please, Spirit? So, you are my safe place. I am still yours. Silent anchor, and that's the letter S. That could be specific for someone. You can still keep their secrets, and they can still keep yours. All you have to do is speak to them in spirit. They still hear you. They're listening to you. They're right by your side if you need them to be, always. And they will keep your secrets. They're not going to tell anyone about your secrets, that's for sure. And an affirmation for this card. I am open my heart to the invisible embrace that holds me still. Where once I rested in your arms, I now carry your warmth within. I am safe, I am remembered, and I am held. Move those up a little bit so that you can see a little bit. And what is your next card, please? What other messages for pile number 2? I am the old songs you play when you need me. They come through in music everywhere. In the songs, they literally will speak to you. All you have to do is learn to listen, ask questions, and notice when they are speaking to you. If you feel something in your soul, you will know that it is them talking to you, and it's an S and a G. That could be relevant. I am the laugh you hear when you are in crowded rooms, social visitation. So when you are out in public, when you're out doing your own thing, and you think that they're there, but they couldn't possibly be there because they're dead. No, they are there. They are following you around. They're out socializing with you, literally. I am the breeze that hugs you when you walk alone, spirit embrace. So you are never alone. They are always with you, especially when you are alone, especially when you're outside, out maybe that you're not feeling exactly safe when you're out walking around or whatnot, but they are standing right next to you as you go on about your day, and they just want you to know the little breeze that picks up when you think about them. You have to think about them. You have to say their name. You have to want them to be around you, and they will be there for you. And that's the letter O. So let's see what letters we have. We have O, H, H-O, G, hog. We have hog. We have go. So if there's something that you're planning on doing, go for it. Go for it now. And we have, oh wow, 2 of those. Yes, so we have 2 of those, lagoos, which means lake. You literally could, like going down to the lake, you could be at the lake, like water, down on the water. It's tied to emotions and your dreams and your intuition. So your deceased loved one could literally be coming through on your dream, in your dreams. And you have an extraordinary power to be able to heal, not just yourself, but others. Very heightened psychic abilities. Do you hear all those sirens? Wow. Yeah, so you definitely are very psychic in what you are doing. What is this one? And so this one here is Anzus. And this is the message. It's a rune of communication and represents... Wow, look at all those sirens. Can you hear that? This is a divine message. You're getting a divine message. Do you hear that? Having a revelation, you're getting signs and visions from the other side. So I'm thinking that you are very psychic in your own way, and you have a very powerful gift of being able to talk to the other side, and you're picking up the signs and information that your deceased loved ones, whoever that may be, is giving you, and they're literally visiting you. They're visiting you, right? So just pay attention to what's going on around you in your life. And this is Manas. I'm probably butchering it, but this is literally the human race, man, woman. It represents man, humankind, humanity. It encompasses yourself and your identity and your relationships towards others, cooperation, your morals and your values. So you have very high standards for yourself, and you really do care about what's happening in the world, and you probably do humanitarian work and make social order. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give it a like, thumbs up, and if there's someone that you know that could benefit from readings like these, please let them know of my channel. It'll help me out a lot. And until next time, take care. Welcome, pile number 3, to your deceased loved one's messages. I'd like for you to take a deep breath, just relax, and think of your deceased loved ones that you want to connect with, and just ask them to step forward through this message. Let's begin. I'll start with the shadow deck and see what messages Spirit wants to give you today. What Spirit messages for pile number 3? You never even said goodbye. Vanished. Ghosted by death is not very good, is it? Unspoken wound. Having a silent exit. They left without words. They didn't even say goodbye. Some people die with a final breath in their arms, and others just simply vanish without a word, without a note, not a whisper, not a goodbye. This card is for those of you who were left holding silence. It's the grief of the door never opened, the message that never came, the goodbye that echoed only in your chest. It's also the rage of the soul who needed something, anything, and got nothing. You vanished. See ya. Didn't say goodbye. And now you are left talking to ghosts who never spoke back. This card, this spirit, doesn't want resolution. They want to be heard. You can say to yourself aloud, you never said goodbye, but I need to, so I will. Speak your own farewell to them, even if they never gave you one. It's the process of letting go. A little affirmation for you. Your silence hurt me, but I deserve peace anyway. Let's move on to another card. Oh, you got a whole bunch here. I don't know if that's too many. Instant regret. I erased your videos and I regret it always. So yeah, that's a big one. That's a big deal. I know that instant regret feeling. It's like you think that they live in the videos and the pictures that you have kept of them, but that's not where they live anymore. Just because you erase their videos or pictures and whatnot doesn't mean that they actually left you in spirit. They are still there. With this card, it's as if you watched their voice become smoke in your hands, untouchable as it drifted away. I feel that instant regret in my heart, like choking, crying. I feel it. Every time you sit in the quiet now, your heart jumps at the echoes. Maybe it will ring, maybe you can die again, only to remember they won't. Yet the truth you learn at the edge of silence. A voice can be silenced, but love cannot. Though the messages are gone, the feelings they carried remain. The love in each word they wrote, every story they told you is engraved in your soul. You don't need these physical objects. In the stillness, remember that they are listening not to the empty inbox, but to the resonance of your heart calling out. Their flame lives in your breath and in the spaces between your thoughts. They don't live in the videos. I know, it hurts, but I want you to take a gentle breath. Feel the warmth of memory as it rises. You cannot undo what was done, but you can honor what endures with passion. Forgive yourself for this imperfect choice. Love does not vanish with a click, and voices become part of us when we carry them forward. In chamber of your heart, speak their name with love. Even if the phone never rings, you keep the door open between worlds when you remember with a smile, not just with tears. And a little affirmation for this card, for this spirit. I release that and carry their love forward in my heart, because that is where they live forever, in your heart. Why didn't you fight harder to stay? Abandonment rage. You're going through abandonment, you're angry, you have unanswered questions, maybe you're feeling survival guilt. Spirit wants you to know that this is a pain. It tastes like betrayal. You feel betrayed. But it isn't. It's love with no place to go. Is the ache of every unanswered prayer, every bedside whisper, every time your heart begged them to hold on just a little longer. It's the voice that says, didn't you hear me? Didn't you feel how hard I was trying to keep you here? If you're holding on to this question, know this. Spirit wants you to know that it doesn't mean they gave up. It means something beyond your understanding called them home. And their soul answered because it had to. Not because they didn't love you, but because it was their path. For reasons you may never understand. Their path, their life, it was complete. Let this card honor your rage, your heartbreak. Let go without a war. Let your feelings soften to what happened when they died. I kept your secrets, now who keeps mine? This is an unspoken burden. You feel like you have no one else to talk to or go to. Maybe you don't, but I feel like this was like best friend energy. Oh wow, the sirens again. This is pain that you're hiding. You're carrying a silent burden. Spirit wants you to know that you were safe. You were the confessional, the one they trusted with their darkness, their shame, their hidden wounds. You kept their secrets like treasure, not because you had to, but because you loved them. But now they are gone, and your secrets sit inside you like stones, unspoken, unseen, unheld. When your soul is overfull with truths you never had the space to speak, and then when the grief you carry isn't about who left, but about the fact they left you holding everything, their deepest, darkest secrets, you hold on to everything. And Spirit says to you now, I see what I left in you. I see the weight I never asked you to drop. You may now let it go. You do not have to be my vault anymore. If you need to tell these secrets, that's okay. It's all right. If they're burdening you so much, you need to speak up. This is your relief. You can honor them without holding what was never yours to carry forever. And an affirmation for you for this card. I was your witness. Now I become my own. Those 5 cards, perfect. I left in chaos. I did not leave in hate. Abandonment storm. So you're going through abandonment abandonment issues, big time, abandonment rage, abandoned by the storm. Maybe you are left all alone and you don't know how to move on without them. It's fair, no doubt about it. So with this card, Spirit wants you to know that sometimes the last chapter is not peaceful. There may have been shouting, there may have been silence, there may have been separation before his death. Their death may have felt like tearing, was not a good farewell. And Spirit wants you to know that circumstances of their leaving do not cancel the love that they hold. Even if they were in pain, angry, confused, or even if you were, the bond to the soul level remains the same. This card speaks to the Spirit's clarity of departure, free of the body and burden. They can see what could be said to them. They do not carry hatred. If you've been holding on to the blame toward them or yourself, this is an offering, an opening to let it go, to begin again, to let it melt. You do not need to hold on to it. They are at peace. Even in chaos, love remained. They are not hated. They are still held. An affirmation for you. The love was not lost. Even then, it was still there. Okay, let's get a couple more cards from the bridge deck, please. I am the shadow that walks beside you when you are alone. You are protected from beyond. They are still with you. You are never alone. And this rune here is Dagas, and it's a breakthrough. There's a new beginning that's starting to approach you. You're having a breakthrough. This is transformative power of change. And Spirit wants you to know that it's a good time to start something new, a new enterprise. A finality. It's positive. You have hope for the future. So Spirit wants you to just keep doing that. There's prosperity coming to you, and let the heaviness that you've been carrying of his death go, and start the new beginning. And that is the letter C. You can see that. Letter C. If that means anything to you. A couple more cards, please. This one. I didn't want to go. It was my time. Faded passage. CB. BC. It was their time to go. There was nothing that you could have done to stop it. It was fated. It was their time was up. Yeah, it was fated. It was their time to go. There was absolutely nothing that you could have done. And that's Dagas again. Same one. So yeah, this is a double whammy right there, that there is something very good coming for you right now. There's a positive change, new beginnings coming in your life, a breakthrough, awakening. So just hold on to that and move forward with your life as best as you can. That's what Spirit says. So if you like this reading, please give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe. And if you know of anyone that would benefit from these types of readings, please let them know. And until next time, take care.